Okay. So okay, kita go for the second subtopic lah, which is under chapter 1, okay, where we discuss on lateral earth pressure. Okay. Uh, so for today, I will give explanation, okay, with some example, okay. So most probably, I will try to discuss for the whole slide, okay. Then next meeting, which is on Wednesday, okay. So we can discuss on several examples by using Dr. Kamaruddin reference book. Okay. So for the lateral earth pressure, okay, previously we have discussed on vertical pressure. Okay. So um, when we have a limited space, okay, and then we want to construct or we want to make use of the space, okay. So with a different topography, okay, a different height level of soil, okay. So most probably we need to use a retaining structure, okay, for example, okay, because with a limitation of area, okay, it is not wise to use or to treat by using a slope method. Okay. So nanti saya terangkan apa maksud dia. Okay. So we need to build what we call as a retaining structure. Okay. So in order to understand the behavior or the failure of this retaining structure, so we need to know how to determine, okay, what is the pressure, okay, that will be applied on the side of the retaining structure. Okay, kita kena faham lah, maknanya kita nak design, okay, to design we need to know what is the pressure applied on the side of the retaining structure. Dalam erti kata lain, berapa pressure ataupun load yang akan dikenakan ke atas belakang retaining structure. Okay, nanti saya tunjukkan apa itu retaining structure. Okay, so to understand on the pressure applied on the retaining structure, so we need to have an idea to calculate or to determine the lateral earth pressure. Okay, so for this subtopic, it's very important, okay, when we want to design or to build a retaining structure. Okay. So lateral earth pressure is important, okay, whereby when we want to design for retaining wall or retaining structure, so this analysis and determination of lateral pressure is necessary. Okay, there are three categories of earth pressure. Okay, kita ada tiga type of earth pressure. For the first one is the earth pressure at rest. Okay, dalam keadaan kondisi yang biasa, kita istilahkan dia dalam keadaan rehat lah. Okay, where elastic equilibrium with no lateral strain taking place. Okay, so dalam behavior of material, okay, so elastic equilibrium ni dalam keadaan dia tidak fail. Okay, maknanya dia tak reach satu state, yield state yang mana dia kalau dia dikenakan satu beban yang terlampau besar, dia akan menyebabkan dia reach a yield state ataupun dia dah reach plastic equilibrium. Okay, walau bagaimanapun untuk earth pressure at rest, it will not, it only consider at the elastic equilibrium, okay, with no lateral strain taking place. So maknanya dia tak ada movement yang berlaku ataupun tidak ada pergerakan yang berlaku. So dalam erti kata lain, earth pressure at rest adalah dalam keadaan yang stable. Okay. However, during the design, okay, so normally we need to get an idea what is the conditions, okay, if the soil start to fail, okay, so in that case, we will use the approach under active earth pressure and passive earth pressure, okay. So maknanya active plastic equilibrium with lateral expansion taking place. So dia expand, soil tersebut start to expand. Okay, dan dia dah bergerak. So kalau dia bergerak, dia dah kita consider sebagai dia dah reach the plastic equilibrium. Okay, maknanya plastik ni kalau ikut what we call as stress strain punya curve. Okay, so dia okay. So awak dah belajar behave. Alamak, sorry lah. Kenapa sini? So kalau awak belajar behavior of material, okay, kita akan ada stress dan kita ada strain. Okay. So dia akan naik begini. Contoh kalau untuk soil lah. Okay. So yang ini kita consider as a plastic equilibrium, elastic equilibrium. Okay, manakala yang ini kita consider as a plastic equilibrium. So kalau sini dia tak akan reach the yield condition, okay, maka dia tidak dikonsider sebagai keadaan dia fail. Okay. So expansion maknanya tanah tersebut ataupun tanah tersebut menyebabkan dia boleh menolak sesuatu structure lah. Dia expand, start to expand. Manakala kalau we go look on the passive, okay, it will compress, okay, due to the activity from the active earth pressure. So kalau yang ni expand, definitely yang satu lagi akan compress lah, dia akan menolak. Okay. So dalam arti kata lain, when we look on active earth pressure, okay, the reflection from the active earth pressure is the passive lah. So kalau, for example, if you want to design for a retaining structure, okay, so definitely we have a two different height of ground, okay. So normally the ground that is high, that which is have a different which is high compared to the other ground. Okay, we may use the active, okay, approach. Okay, while this will be considered as a passive. Okay. Okay, definitely yang ini akan mengalami expansion. So yang ini akan mengalami compression. Yang ini di bawah macam tu. Okay. Okay, so that is the idea, okay, from the expansion and the compression. Okay. Okay. So on the other terms, okay, so this is the diagram where where we can categorize for at rest, active, and passive. Okay. So for each lateral earth pressure, okay, we may use the value from the effective vertical stress. Okay. So actually this is the effective. Okay. Okay. So for this effective vertical stress, okay, we need to multiply with any coefficients. Okay. For example, for the at rest, we may multiply with the K naught. Okay, to get the value for the lateral earth pressure at rest. Okay. While for the lateral pressure, while for the active lateral pressure, okay, we may multiply with the coefficient of Ka, and the last one, we may multiply the pressure from the Kp. Okay. So this is the way how we could obtain the lateral earth pressure under at rest, active, and passive. Okay. So on this subtopic, we may learn how to determine the lateral earth pressure, okay, either at rest or active or passive, okay, by multiplying the effective vertical stress with all these coefficient value. Okay. So this is the behavior of expansion, where this is the behavior of the compression, okay, based on based on the same soil. Okay, normally for the for the passive one, so we consider this area as a passive. Okay, okay, now we may look on the lateral pressure at rest. Okay. Okay, lateral pressure at rest. Okay, the horizontal effective stress is determined based on this formula, where we need to find what is the effective vertical stress, okay, then multiply with the K naught, okay. So the K naught is obtained from the 1 minus sine phi, okay. So this is the value of the K naught, okay. So means that we need to get the engineering properties of the soil, okay, uh, in order to get the value for the K naught, okay. So normally for the soil, okay, we may get the value for the phi and also C, okay. So phi is the internal friction angle, while C is the cohesion which is contribute from the cohesive material. Okay, normally C is obtained from the clay material, while phi is obtained from the sand material or from the granular particle of the soil. Okay, okay, for the lateral pressure at rest, okay, uh, due to the soil is not reached to the failure state, okay, so there will be no uh, determination of the K naught based on the C, okay. So we will not we could not solve the problems, okay, if the or we will not consider the C, okay, in the calculation for the lateral pressure at rest, okay. This is based on the more column criteria where the soil not reach this the C condition, okay, because the soil is considered at rest, okay. So that is that yeah, because when we discuss on the active earth pressure ataupun passive earth pressure, okay, kita akan menggunakan both value, which is from the phi and also from the C, okay. But for the lateral pressure at rest, we only use the value from the phi value, okay, which is the internal friction angle, okay. Okay, we look on this example, okay, okay. Bila masa kita menggunakan formula at rest, okay, so it depends on the information from the question, okay. For example, okay, when we want to use the formula of K naught, okay, so normally the question will be definitely will address the condition of the wall, okay. Uh, the wall is very rigid, okay, the wall is very rigid, and the soil behind wall address condition, or might be they can add the wall the wall is not move, okay, or will not move, okay, means that the wall is in a stable condition, okay. So if we notice that kind of information provided, okay, so we may use the K naught in our calculation, okay. Okay, from what we learn from the total stress, effective stress, and pore water pressure, the importance of draw the pressure diagram, okay. Because when we discuss on lateral earth pressure, okay, we need to find or we need to determine what is the load, okay, apply on the wall. So the load could be determined, okay, based on the area from the stress, okay. So that's why it's very important for us to draw the or to sketch the lateral pressure diagram. Okay, from there we can get the value for the P naught. Okay, capital P is considered as what we call as load. Okay, normally load, which is in kilonewton. Okay, and it will be per meter run. Okay, so for every 1 meter, because we analyze based on the 2D, kan kita analyze based on the 2D. Okay, so we may consider per meter run. Kita dah discuss sebelum ni kan untuk line load kan. Awak berdapat idea sebab apa kita gunakan per meter run. Because for every 1 meter, that is the load applied on the wall. Okay. So tengok pada soalan yang ini. Okay. Macam ni, awak nak saya discuss satu topik dulu ke ataupun saya go through semua slide ni, nanti kita akan tunjuk contoh pada setiap topik. Kalau Dr. Kamarudin. Kalau tak, saya fokus kepada address saja hari ni. Macam mana?
Fokus address je.
Okay, kalau fokus address, nanti saya akan tunjuk contoh Dr. Kamarudin. Okay, lepas tu kita akan faham how this calculation work. Okay. Okay. So kita ambil yang ni dulu Okay. So we have 2 layer of soil. Okay, for the first one is the field sand, and the 2.5 meter height is silt soil. Okay. So this is all the properties provided, where C is 0, C is 0, and the phi is 25, and the phi for the C is 25. Okay. So for this case, the phi value, which is represent the sand and the silt, is similar or same. Okay. So we have a water table here, which is 3 meter below the ground, or below the top of the soil. Okay. So this we consider as a ground level. Okay. So where the unit weight is 18, okay, and also the saturated unit weight is 20 for the silt soil below the groundwater table. Okay. So sketch lateral pressure diagram. Okay, so that is our first task. Okay, then determine the lateral earth pressure at rest, and then determine the hydrostatic pressure. Okay, so we need to separate between the lateral earth pressure and hydrostatic force. Okay, because the soil that represent for this case, okay, and the water that have inside the soil body, okay, could not be add together in the analysis. Okay. Sebab apa? Sebab to get the value for the lateral earth pressure from the soil, okay, we may use the soil properties, which is phi. And for the next, for the active and passive, which is C. Okay. However, C and phi doesn't have in water. Okay, water tak ada nilai C dan nilai phi. Okay, so that's why we need to separate the analysis, and then to get the value for the at rest or passive or active, so we may add, for example, for this case, P naught with the P W to get the total for the P. We call it as a P naught. Okay, the total. Okay. Okay, so that this is the actual stress applied on the wall. Okay. Okay. Okay, first of all, we need to calculate what will be the K naught. Okay, for this case, 1 minus sine 25. Okay, then we obtain 0.577. Okay, that is for the K naught. Okay, so from the K naught, okay, we may multiply with the effective stress. Okay, effective vertical stress. However, effective vertical stress should be count from the unit weight as we have discussed previously. Okay, so unit weight times 3.5, the height, then we may get the effective stress. Okay, Okay, sebab itu kita guna effective stress sebab we want to differentiate between the water and also the soil. Okay, so for this case, for the soil above the groundwater table, it doesn't have any what we call as water table. Then directly the total stress is equal to the effective stress. Okay, so 18 times 3.5, then times 0.577. Okay, so we obtained 36.35. Okay, so as I already told you previously, okay, to draw the distribution diagram, okay, so we need to consider for every height with a different soil properties. Okay, so maknanya kalau ada height yang berubah in term of soil properties, okay, ada water table, so we need to calculate and then produce the diagram. Okay, so macam case yang ni, awak tak perlu nak cerita kat sini berapa persen 1 meter sebab dia adalah linear punya patterns. So at the end, we just use 3.5 lah. Okay, so from the 3.5 to 2.5, okay, due to the existing of what we call as groundwater level, okay, then we need to consider as an effective value by deduct the unit weight of water. Okay. So case yang ni digunakan 9.81 lah. Okay, so 20 tolak 9.81. Okay. Which is this is the unit weight undersaturated. Okay. Then multiply with 2.5, okay, and then multiply with the K naught. Okay, so we need to add 36.35, okay, because this is the stress at 3.5 level. Okay, so the value is 51.06. Okay, so that is the distribution diagram for the soil. Okay, then the distribution diagram for the water is around 24.5, where we directly multiply 9.81 with 2.5. Okay, so this is the diagram. Okay, so for the next level, okay, how could we determine the P naught, okay, for the soil and P water for the water? Okay, so we need to count for the area. Okay, and the rule of thumb, we only it is advisable to use only a triangular shape. Okay, nak dengar dan rectangular or the last one is square. Okay, to count for the area. Okay, for example, this is first area. Okay, logically we can use the trapezium, but you need to use a rectangular shape for this case and triangular shape. Okay. And the last one, this is the fourth area lah. Okay, so awak kira lah, mudah je kira ni, 3.5 darab 18 darab 1/2, that is the area for the first shape, plus 2.5 times, apa ni, times 36.35, that is the second area. The third area is half times 51.06 minus 36.35 times 2.5. Okay, that is the area number, the third area. So the combination of the 1, 2, and 3 area is the value for the P naught. Okay, and the last one, the fourth one, okay, half times 2.5 times 24.5 is the area which is represent the PW. Okay, okay, mungkin awak tanya kenapa kena guna this three shape only? Okay, because okay, when we want to find where is the location of the load, okay, we may use the concept of moment. Okay, so when we use the concept of moment, it's very easy for us to determine the moment arm. Okay, for triangular, for rectangular, for what we call the last one, for the square shape. Okay, kalau yang ini moment arm dia akan bersamaan dengan half lah, kan, h/2. Okey, yang ni pun H/2. Okey, kalau yang ini dia akan jadi, tak silap saya lah kan. Kalau kita ambil pada bawah, dia akan jadi 1/3 H lah. Ataupun kita go to mungkin 2/3 atau 1/3. Saya, 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 saya akan tengok juga rujukan. Okay. So that is the idea. If we have a trapezium shape, I guess it's very difficult for us to get the moment arm value. Okay. Ataupun the combination of 1/3 H plus H kuasa 2 might be that is the moment arm for the trapezium. Okay. But it's better for us to construct the area to determine the PW by using the triangular and square or rectangular shape. Okay. Okay, so this is the idea A, B, C, and D. Okay. So later on, we can easily get the lateral earth pressure, which is at 172.88 for the PINA. Okay, so normally this as per meter run. Okay. Okay. And for the absolute pressure, 30.63. Okay. Then the total horizontal pressure is 203.51. Okay. Okay, ada soalan? Sebelum kita pergi baca untuk Dr. Kamarudin. Faham Siddiq? Okay. Yang lain faham? Yang ni senang je lah, maknanya straightforward kan. Okay, tapi awak kena faham the procedure Maknanya first K0. Okay. Then we calculate based on height lah. Okay. Kalau kosong sampai berapa jumpa the soil change the properties. Okay, itu kita kena kira sehinggalah kepada to the bottom of the retaining or the structure. Okay. Okay. So saya pergi pada contoh Dr. Kamarudin. Saya stop share. Okay. Attendant jangan lupa Okay. Okay. Okay, nampak? Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okay. So, okay, ni contoh untuk soalan bagi at rest Okay. So, kalau kejap buku belum dapat lagi macam mana?
Dah dapat.
Dapat tak?
Dah.
Dah dapat.
Okay. So, buka muka surat 21 lah. Saya tak ingat muka sama atau tidak. Okay. Bila dapat?
Semalam.
Okay, bagus. Okay. So, okay, kalau siapa ada problem, beritahu ataupun berdapat, nanti saya tanya Cik Azrin. Okay. Okay, tengok pada soalan. Okay. Dia ada mention no yielding is allowed. Okay, assuming the wall is supported and braced by beam so that no yielding is allowed. So definitely the soil, the what we call it, the retaining structure doesn't move. Okay. So in that case, we assume it is under a rest condition. Okay. Tapi dalam keadaan yang sebenar, kita akan design based on active. Okay. Dan once kita dah dapat the lateral stress pada active, barulah kita boleh tahu that is the maximum load yang akan apply on the structure yang menyebabkan dia fail. So kita kena design supaya load structure tersebut boleh menahan daripada pressure yang dikenakan ke atas wall tersebut. Saya dah beritahu awak yang apa yang awak belajar ni saya guna untuk saya punya permohonan PE saya, Professional Engineer. Kan nampak mudah je kan? Tetapi dia boleh diguna untuk apply untuk dapatkan PE. PE ni IR lah. Bagi seorang engineer dia nak dapatkan IR lah, dia punya matlamat dia untuk dia bekerja kan. Supaya dia recognize dalam praktikal. Okay. Okay, so no unit implies the system is at rest condition. Okay, so we need to count for the we use this formula lah untuk determine the lateral earth pressure at rest. Okay. So use the formula. Okay, so keluarkanlah formula yang berkenaan. Okay, so for this case we have two type of material. Okay, with a surcharge on the top of the ground. Okay, mungkin ada dia letakkan dia letak sesuatu on the top of the soil, iaitu satu loading tambahan ke, okay, untuk dikenakan ke atas this ground. Okay, so we have two different type of soil. Okay, so we may have two different K0 value. Satu K0 0.5, satu K0 0.658, dia berlaku pada 4 meter. Okay, so nanti saya akan terangkan dia ada satu istilah slightly above dan slightly below. Disebabkan, okay, untuk example yang saya bagi dalam slide, disebabkan oleh 5 value dia sama, so tak ada issue of slightly above and slightly below. Okay, so for this example, we may have we may include a calculation for the different soil at the 4 meter boundary. Okay, so kita akan go through. Okay, so 0.5 untuk K0 first, 0.658 untuk second punya soil. Okay, so definitely we should start our calculation from the zero level. Okay, so at the z equal to 0 at the surface of the backfill. Okay, so this is due to the surcharge. Okay, so based on the surcharge, okay, we need to multiply with the K0. Okay, maksudnya di atas ni pun dah ada perubahan ke atas lateral earth pressure sebab kita multiply with 0.5. Okay, so kita dapatlah 10 untuk lateral earth pressure at the top of the ground due to the surcharge. Okay, then kita turun bawah sehinggalah kita berjumpa kepada 4 meter. Disebabkan saya kata tadi kalau ada sebarang perubahan type of soil properties, ada pun water ada jumpa, so we need to put in our diagram. Okay, lateral earth pressure diagram. Okay, so at this elevation, change in the strength parameter is observed. Therefore, two different lateral stress will be considered, which is slightly above and slightly below this level. Okay, maknanya kita kena buat dua calculation. Note that the effective at the level is unchanged. Okay, so lateral vertical pressure tak ada berubah. Okay, vertical pressure kita kira macam biasa, which is 20 is the surcharge plus 70 times 4 we obtain 88. Okay, so due to the difference of K0 value, so we need to count for the slightly above and slightly below, which is 44 for the slightly above and 57.9 at slightly below. So apa akan jadi? Dia akan memberi kita punya distribution diagram pada satu value 4 meter tersebut ada dua bacaan, which is 44 and 57.9. Nanti kita tengok. Okay. So at the z of 7 meter, okay, which is the bottom of the retaining the wall. Okay, so the effective height is equal to 1.145 kilometer per meter square. Then we may multiply with the K naught of 0.658. So we obtain 95.41. Okay. Okay, then we look on the diagram first before we go for this calculation of A1, A2, A3, A4. Okay, so this is the diagram. Okay, sebab tak ada air, so kita hanya consider effective stress value from the soil, or we only consider the soil behavior. Okay, so at the Z equal to 0, so we obtain 10. Okay, then at the 4 meter, as I already told you that we have a two value, which is 44 for the slightly above and 57.9 for the slightly below. Okay. Then the last one is 55.41. Okay. So we divide the first 4 meter under two different shape, which is rectangular and triangular, A1 and A2. Okay. And then A3 and A4 for the next 3 meter deep. Okay. So apa akan jadi? Okay, so the A1 kita kira biasalah 10 times 4, okay, sehinggalah kepada semua kita dah kira. So we obtain 337.97 for the P0. Okay. Then later on, we may count for the location of the load, which is 337.97. Okay, so kita nak tahu kat mana kedudukan dia. Sebab apa? So for example, if we want to do a treatment, okay, kita nak letaklah, for example, tie back. Tie back ni macam kita ada road, nak masukkan road untuk balancekan balik. Kita tahu kat mana location yang paling critical, okay, dan kita akan apply tension approach menggunakan tie back punya methods. Okay, itu kita akan discuss untuk effective nanti lah. Okay, supaya kita boleh balance the wall. So the location is very important to be determined. Okay, so untuk dapatkan the location, okay, we may use the concept of moment. Okay, so concept of moment, which is moment untuk dapatkan y dash ni. Okay, moment of the area over the area of A1. Okay. So untuk dapatkan the moment of the area, because this y dash actually is equal to the moment arm for the whole system, kan? Sebab tu dia kata kalau kita pindah di sini, total area of A1 multiply with this average or y dash is equal to the total of the whole moment of area A1. So benda sama lah. Okay, so untuk dapatkan y dash, okay, P1, which is the area of A1, okay, multiply with the moment arm for the P1, which is the Y1. Okay, kalau moment arm untuk Y1, saya katakan tadi, kalau untuk rectangular, H over 2, which is 2 times 3 equal to 5, kan? Okay. Darabkan dengan 40, which is the area for the A1. Okay, this is the area of the A1, 40. Okay, times 68, which is the area for the A2. Okay, multiply with 4.333. So how to obtain 4.33? 3, okay. 3, 4 bahagikan dengan 3. Okay, which is 1.333. Kan saya kata kalau triangular, dia akan jadi 1/3 kalau kita ambil pada bottom. Kalau atas, dia akan jadi 2/3. Okay, 2/3 akan jadi atas. Okay, so 1/3, which is 3 plus 1.33. So dapatlah the second moment untuk P2. Okay, for the P3, 173.7 multiply with 1.5. Okay, because 3/2 we got 1.5. Okay, and the last one is 56.27. Okay, multiply with 3/3. So 56.27 multiply with 1. Okay, then we need to divide with the total of the load, which is P0. Okay, so the result is around 2.5. Okay, so means that the location of this line of action is equal to 2.5 with the load of 337.97. Okay, so that is why we need to consider only square, rectangular, and also triangular shape. Okay, in order to calculate for the loads and also the line of action. Okay, okay, okay. So itu saja untuk address. Bagi contoh Dr. Kamarudin. Okay, ada soalan?
Doktor,
Guna habis awal lah. Ada soalan?
dengar tak?
Ha?
Dengar tak?
Dengar? Nur Balkis Muhammad Suhaimo. Okay.
Saya ada soalan. Saya tak berapa faham tentang yang slightly above and below tu. Sebab dekat soalan tak mention kan doktor. So macam mana nak tahu kena kira tu?
Okay, jawapan dia setiap dalam kita nak produce what we call as the pressure diagram tersebut, okay, setiap changes yang berlaku ke atas soil properties akan diambil kira. Okay, disebabkan pada this boundary, okay, which is 4 meter below the soil, we have it should be represent for the first layer of soil and also the second layer of soil. Okay, contoh yang pertama yang saya bagi tadi disebabkan phi dia sama 25-25, so dia tak ada issue of different K0 pada boundary yang sama. Tetapi disebabkan kes yang ini dia ada 30 untuk soil number 1, 20 pada soil number 2. Okay, so we need to consider in our calculation for slightly above to represent the soil number 1 and slightly below to represent the soil number 2. Itu idea dia.
Faham?
Faham? Okay, so tengok pada soalan, kita kena consider definitely on the top. Okay, kalau ada perubahan perlu dikira, dan definitely at the bottom. Okay, kalau ada 3 layer of soil, so mana ada 3 calculation, 3 height yang different, yang 5 height lah termasuk top dengan bottom lah, yang perlu ambil kira. Okay, so kerjanya banyak lah. Maknanya kalau 2 type of soil macam ni, ada 1, 2, 3 lah. Kalau 3 type of soil, 1, 2, 3, 4 untuk diambil kira.
Doktor boleh tengok sekejap tak pengiraan slightly above below tu?
Awak tak tahu buku lagi baki kan?
Tak sampai lagi.
Ni.
Thank you doktor.
So kan saya dah beritahu kita ada 2 K0 berbeza. K0 slightly above 0.5, K0 slightly below 0.658. Okay. So we multiply with 0.5, multiply with 0.658. Okay, adakah barang kalian juga yang mana slightly below ni lebih kecil? Okay, so menunjukkan bahawa pattern dia jadi 44 contoh for example, dia boleh jadi 33 ke belakang. Okay, so dia tak bolehlah kita jump 33, 44, salah. Kita kena pergi pada slightly above dahulu, baru kita pergi pada slightly below. Faham? Nanti akan ada contoh nanti.
Okey doktor. Terima kasih.
Okay. So please take note lah bahawa calculation kita, kalau ada perubahan material, kita kena consider dalam 2 drawing untuk this lateral pressure. Sebab at the end kita nak dapatkan area tu akan dapatkan load. Okay. Ada soalan tambahan sebelum kita bersurai? Attendant, saya lepas habis kelas saya tutup Ada soalan tambahan? Jika tak ada, kita jumpa hari Rabu. Rabu berapa bulan lah? Rabu, okey. Nanti Rabu saya update pukul apa kelas sebab saya ada meeting pagi tu dengan JKR. Tapi seperti yang saya kata, saya akan buat kelas juga. Mungkin masa tu akan ada sedikit berubah lah. Ataupun mungkin habis awal ke. Sebab petang saya ada appointment anak saya di SSA pukul 2:30. Kita ada soalan Okey, so kita jumpa hari Rabu Okey, kalau ada terlintas soalan boleh personally tanya. Saya cuba terangkan balik. Okey. Dan saya akan share lah apa yang saya rekod ni. Okey, slide saya dah share. So, saya tak gunakan e-learning So, segala apa yang saya share, video YouTube semua apa tu, itulah saya punya rujukan Okey. So, itu saja untuk hari ni. Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat tengah hari. Kita jumpa hari Rabu
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Sama-sama.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Okey, bye-bye.
Terima kasih, Doktor.